Hey, what's up everybody? It's Thursday on GenderqueerChat. This week's topic has to do with what do you call genderqueer people in relationships. And so, first of all, the sort of romantic kind of relationship. I would be okay with somebody calling me their spouse. Lots of people don't like that, but I would be okay with that. I don't feel like I would be somebody's girlfriend, so I feel kind of a little bit awkward about that. But the thing about that is, at some point, it's gonna happen. And you can talk within the relationship, you can say, you know, you can decide not to call each other girlfriend or boyfriend, or you can decide to call each other whatever you want. But at some point, the outside world is going to say, oh, so-and-so's girlfriend, or, and they don't mean it to be offensive. They don't mean it to be, anything other than conversation. They wanted to refer to this person. They may or may not know that they're genderqueer. Even if they do know that they're genderqueer, it's, most people don't have gender-neutral terms and haven't had to think about gender-neutral terms, and so they just live in the real world and talk like they know how. So it's gonna happen. I think that we could just try not to be offended, try not to be upset by it. There's a certain amount of understanding, I think, that everyone has to have. But at least in your own personal relationships, you can decide what to call each other. And that can be said for, parents and children as well as spouses. So, for instance, if you're a parent and you're calling your genderqueer kid my daughter or my son, and they don't like it, you can call them my kid. I like that one. I would like for people, for my parents to refer to me as my kid, but they don't. Maybe I can talk to them about it again. No, they do sometimes. My mom will refer to me. One time she did this, it was kind of funny. She was like, "This is my baby, remember my baby?" I was like, "Oh, she's not saying my daughter." But yeah. And your parent, if you are a parent who is genderqueer, I cannot imagine somebody calling me mom, and it just makes me cringe. But I'm also not dad. That makes me cringe too. So I think the beautiful thing about being a parent is you teach your kids what to call you, and at some point, again, somebody will say to your kid, your mom or your dad, and there's just you have, you can't interact with the world outside when, various languages have various, words for various relationships, but in English and in North America, we are going to say, people are going to refer to you as mom or dad, son or daughter, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, at some point, and I think there's just a certain amount of acceptance that you have to have, because the majority of people are not trying to be offensive. They're not trying to say, they're not trying to make you uncomfortable or be offensive or anything. They're just, you don't know any better. And I'm sure even as genderqueer people and trans people, we do it too. Because if you don't know what to call somebody, we can make an effort to start saying spouse or partner or kid or whatever, but, at some point you slip up and you say girlfriend, and maybe they don't want to be a girlfriend, or I feel like there's not enough accessible like gender-neutral language to adequately express in a non-awkward way genderqueer relationships. So, yeah, with your own people, you can, like, everybody is gonna want something different, you know, want to be called something different, and you decide that amongst yourselves. But in terms of the outside world, I think you just have to not try to just not be too offended or feel too awkward, because there's nothing. People are going to say she and he and daughter. It's going to happen. And they don't mean anything bad by it. It's just that there's no other, there's not other languages. And if somebody is intentionally being cruel, somebody knows that you are trans or genderqueer and they are intentionally using the wrong pronouns or intentionally saying, like, my daughter, and that's not very nice. That's just mean. And they shouldn't do that. But for the majority, most part, unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. And yeah. So anyway, have a good week, guys. I will see you next week. Bye.